And later, Keta Municipal Security Council begins evacuation. Meteorological agencies warning of dangerous sea tides expected in low-lying areas such as Keta.
The NADMO team has also been put on a high alert. They are currently at the beaches talking to the chief fishermen. Those living there to relocate.
Well, the 2025 Joy News Impact Makers Awards is here. We'll tell you all you need to know about our 10 finalists who will make history tomorrow. These and more with me, Maame, Nyamekye, Thompson. This is Joy News, independent, fearless, and credible. This afternoon, Joy News Research has uncovered a major policy reversal by government on its promise not to increase the energy sector levy. Despite assurances in the 2025 budget to maintain the current levy levels, our checks reveal that government could be preparing to implement the new Ghana city charge on the ex-pump price of fuel, which is part of a plan to salvage the struggling power sector. This revelation comes just days after National Democratic Congress Chairman Johnson Nyamekye told Evans Mensah on PM Express that government was merely waiting for the right time to begin collecting the new fuel tax.
After the approval, I think within less than 1 week, there was this Iran thing, and it is happening in the oil region. So the projections were that it could lead to escalation of prices again. So it was prudent for us to just wait and monitor and see what happens there. So it has nothing to do with public outcry or anything. We needed to watch what was happening in the Gulf, see how it will affect energy prices. That's why we've kept it there. I'm sure that in the coming weeks, if we are able to estimate or forecast the effect of the crisis in the Gulf, we'll be able to bring it back.
But what exactly did government promise, and where lies that U-turn? Our lead data and research analyst here at Joy News, Isaac Kofier, joins me in studio to break this down for us. Kofi, what did we find, and how does it contradict what government said and its own fiscal policy documents?
Well, Maame, let me take you straight to the 2025 Economic Bible of the country, which is the 2025 budget. Paragraph 264, and I read verbatim, says, consequently, without increasing the levy here, he's talking about the energy sector recovery levy. He says that I will also review the energy sector levies act to consolidate the energy sector debt recovery levy, the energy sector recovery levy, which is the Delta Fund, and the sanitation and pollution levy into one levy, and use the proceeds to cater for the energy sector shortfalls and service the inherited debt service obligation. So very, very clear in paragraph 264. It says, consequently, without increasing the levy, we will review the Energy Sector Act, which is the ESLA. But we saw a contrast to what the finance minister did when he presented that amendment bill to Parliament some weeks ago.
Right, and the 2.45% increment in electricity tariff hasn't gone down well with consumers. But we understand that there could be more in the next quarter. Tell us more about that.
Well, same budget document, paragraph 254 of the budget says that PLC will continue to implement the quarterly tariff adjustment to reflect changes in inflation, exchange rate, and generation mix. So in the quarterly tariff adjustment, 4 factors were mentioned, and there was nowhere fuel was mentioned. There was nowhere debt recovery was mentioned. Now, second paragraph says, in addition, PRC will also undertake the major tariff adjustment, which will be due in the 4th quarter of 2025. Now, to reflect capacity charges, additional liquid fuel usage, and additional capex. So if we were expecting any form of major tariff increment, which will come as a result of liquid fuel issues and other factors, definitely consumers were expecting this in the last quarter. But what we are seeing, per what PRC has put out, is that these adjustments have been made in the second or the third quarter of 2020. According to PRC, the tariff actually went up by 2.45%, mainly as a result of their quest to recover a debt of more than 400 million Ghana cedis, Maame.
Right, thank you so much, Kofi, with that update. Well, a viral video showing two foreign men alleged to be a gay couple engaging in a public display of affection at Ghana's iconic Black Star Square, also known as Independence Square, and the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum has sparked widespread public outrage. The images, which appears to depict a symbolic wedding ceremony with the Ghanaian flag prominently displayed in the background, as well as the Kwame Nkrumah statue, has drawn sharp criticism from various quarters, including members of parliament. Among the vocal critics is the member of parliament for Old-Tafo, Vincent Eko Asifua. In a statement issued yesterday, revealed he had formally petitioned President John Mahama, urging him to publicly denounce the act and reaffirm his commitment to upholding the country's values. We'll get details of that petition shortly from our Joy News editor, Fred Smith, who's joining me in studio shortly with more of this. Fred, what are the reasons behind this petition?
Well, according to the statement, these sites do not only represent the freedom of the country, but the national pride and sacrifices of our forefathers. And these spaces are sacred, hence they are not supposed to be turned into platforms for promoting acts that are fundamentally alien to our cultural, moral, and religious values. He adds that the act is not just a social issue, but a moral affront and a spiritual insult to the conscience of the nation, which he believes is an agenda to normalize what the overwhelming majority of Ghanaians reject as immoral. The statement also reminds President Mahama on giving his word to the Christian Council and the Catholic Bishops' Conference before the 2024 elections that he will sign into law the proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian family values bill.
Well, Fred, but Minister for Communications and MP for Ningo Prampram, Samuel Nate George, who is also one of the proponents of that bill, has been speaking to this. What did he say?
Yes, his comment on Facebook follows after several attacks on social media demanding that he speaks on the matter, where he describes the gay couple act as abhorrent, disrespect of our culture and values by two useless individuals. The disrespect of our national symbol is despicable, to say the least, he said. He further took a swipe at the NPP and former President Akufo-Addo for what he described as refusing to sign the bill into law, which has left us without a strict legislation on these ills.
But is there any update on this bill?
Well, yes, Sam George in that post revealed that he, along with other MPs, have resubmitted the Family Values Bill, which has got into the Speaker's approval, and then it should be laid for the first reading in a moment soon.
Thank you so much, Fred. Fred Smith is editor at Joy News. Well, there must be something wrong with us. The words of Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin as he lashes out at those who ignore or denigrate Ghana's revolutionary past. According to him, that era sparked a necessary against corruption and abuse of power, and those who criticize it without basis, he says, are themselves part of the corrupt system. Speaking at the African Governance and Anti-Corruption Summit 2025 at the University of Ghana, the speaker questioned why such a defining chapter in Ghana's political history is often sidelined or treated with disdain.
So some of us sacrifice our lives and fought seriously. They were the uprising and the revolution. These days, there are some of confused people who keep on confusing you about why we had a revolution. I don't know why they don't tell you about why the French had a revolution. And that the cause, in fact, the last straw of that revolution was just the price of bread. But millions were killed. They celebrate that revolutionary day today. They still celebrate it. Ghana, a small uprising which turned into a revolution, being led by young military officers, is seen as an anathema and not to be celebrated. And so as you grow up, there's nothing to prick your minds to ask why that thing happened. And you start falling into the same trap. And yet, I'm happy you mentioned the judiciary. They ruled against the celebration of the revolutionary day. Whilst Americans celebrate theirs, and yet they applaud that one, and they applaud the one in France, in other countries, but not in Ghana.
Well, the speaker also stressed the need for Ghana to engage its youth in a national conversation to redefine corruption from a local perspective and not based on foreign definitions.
And encouraging young people to demand their right to education. We must together define corruption, not follow the description that our colonizers have given to us, where you all know that even bribery is defined as involving both the giver and the taker. Yet all these flows we are talking about are not coming to Africa. They are rather going to Europe, America, and the other countries. Yes, they see us as corrupt, but see themselves as what? How can we take that definition of corruption? If you look at the Transparency International, you may see countries like Switzerland being regarded as one of the least corrupt countries. But we know that a lot of the corruption that takes place in Africa is invested in Switzerland. Yet they say they are not corrupt, but we are corrupt. If you give safe havens, people will definitely take advantage of it. So we have to sit down with the youth and redefine corruption and fight it based on our terms, not on their terms.
Well, at that same event, National Democratic Congress Chairman Johnson Keta launched a strong critique of government's current asset declaration regime. He called for sweeping reforms, including making the office of the Attorney General independent and separate from government.
Arrest or prosecute his colleagues, and the prosecutorial powers of the country is vested in the Attorney General. So on the one hand, he will sit in cabinet, participate in the approval of all the programs. And when one of the programs goes wrong by way of implementation, and you ask him to now go and arrest his colleagues and prosecute them, it becomes a problem. Yes, I think that we should have a separate Attorney General who, in my view, ought not be a politician. It must be a career Attorney General who will not rely on any political party to put him there. I mean, voting and all that. Moving forward, we should look at making the position of Attorney General like a career position or something that can be secure like a judge, so that he can be free to embark on his prosecutorial duties. Asset declaration regime. We all deceive ourselves that we are declaring our assets. But what you actually do is that you fill a piece of paper, put it in an envelope, and then you go and deposit it with the Auditor General. The law does not allow anybody to see it, and it cannot even be opened by the Auditor General until there is a court order. You understand? So whatever I put in there is just my word I have put in there, and you are not. So before the Fourth Republic, the laws about asset declaration were even more stringent than now that we are in a democratic regime.
Well, the Director of Asset Recovery and Management at the OSP, Albert Akurgu, also provided updates on the current operations of the Special Prosecutor's Office, outlining key recoveries and ongoing investigations.
The OSP has so far convicted 7 individuals this year. We have recovered over 4 million Ghana cedis and saved the nation over 135 million Ghana cedis so far. We have also suspended transactions valued at 283 million Ghana cedis. The office has sensitized over 6 million people as part of its prevention mandate. We look forward to more recoveries, savings, and convictions this year.
Well, private legal practitioner Martin People revealed that the issue of seeming suppression of petitions within the office of the Special Prosecutor had come up before the oral committee.
A lot will be achieved depending on the support that citizens give that office. If citizens push a lot more, we will get a lot more. If citizens are indifferent, then we wouldn't get that much. Because you'd find that the law creating the office, to be honest, is no longer fit for purpose. Look, I'll tell you one big loophole. The law didn't make provision for the office to be transparent enough when it receives petitions. So currently, if Ms. Ofori took a petition to the OSP today. It goes to the reception, and from the reception straight to the special prosecutor. He's human. If it turns out that the petition is against Professor Alidu and the special prosecutor likes Professor Alidu, that petition is going nowhere. The special prosecutor is a human being. He's not an angel. He is a human being. Don't make a mistake. So in proper jurisdictions where you want to avoid issues of the special prosecutor himself now suppressing petitions, you make sure that when the petition is received at the reception, it goes to a committee.
And you had the private legal practitioner Martin Pickwood there. Now, the Keta Municipal Security Council has begun the evacuation of residents from high-risk coastal areas following a warning from the Ghana Meteorological Agency. Wave heights could peak at 2.8 meters, well above the safe limit of 1.5 meters, and breaching the 2.5 meter threshold considered hazardous for marine activity. Principal meteorologist at the Marine Unit of the Ghana Meteorological Agency, Adom Dachi, says the conditions pose serious risks to fishing, transport, and all coastal operations, and could even result in flooding in low-lying areas such as Keta.
On Friday and Sunday, the waves will be in the dangerous zone, about 2.5 to 2.8 or higher than that. They understand it. So we issued USSD code as well to give them the state of the sea. Because of the low-lying nature of Keta, if you have a wave height of 1.8 or 2.5, the elevation of Keta is about 1 meter or a little bit above 1 meter over the sea surface. So if you are reporting a severe wave height of 2.5, which can bring coastal inundation, our advice is to listen to the Ghana Meteorological Agency updates, and they should not leave for fishing, and they also avoid placing things along onshore.
Well, this afternoon, the MC for Keta, Wisdom Bonadi Siade, who also chairs the Municipal Security Council, has told Joy News residents in high-risk areas have been advised to move to higher ground. He added that NADMO and other emergency management agencies are on ground working to prevent potential disaster.
We started some emergency measures by using the radio station that we have here to inform the people and also to educate them. The NADMO team has also been put on a high alert. They are currently at the beaches talking to the chief fishermen and explaining issues to them that it's dangerous to go on the sea during the period stated. Then also we are using the community announcement centers also to educate the people. We told them that they should, those close to the sea, at the beaches, those living there, to relocate or move their properties and some other valuables to the friends. They can relocate completely. When the period is over, then they can come back. So we have done that since dawn and this morning, and the NADMO team is now on the ground educating the people. It is an advice. You need to comply and move, because when the sea comes, it's going to destroy your property, and they know that. So, yes, some have started. We met some people, we talked to them, and they have started moving.
That was Keta MC Wisdom Bonadi, and this is the Midday News on Joy 99.7 FM. We'll take a break. We'll return with sports, and also the 2025 Joy News Impact Makers Awards is here, happening tomorrow. We'll tell you all you need to know about our 10 finalists who will make history.
When budgets are tight and money difficult to come by, you want to be sure you get the best value for your money. These are not times to be spending money fixing expensive engine problems because of cheap fuel and lubricants. Drive to a petrol source station today and buy your quality fuel and lubricants, and rest assured of fuel that lasts long and lubricants that prevent expensive engine problems. Hear the sound. Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity.
When I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth with Kale Charcoal toothpaste. This gives me confidence all day.
Anytime you meet Amma, don't be surprised I smile showing my beautiful white teeth because I don't have cavity thanks to Kale Charcoal toothpaste for its natural charcoal properties. In fact, we are like twins. I can't go without my Kale Charcoal toothpaste.
That be why I dey use Kale Charcoal toothpaste morning and night when I dey go bed safe. It dey make my teeth white when it dey comot every scent from my mouth inside. My confidence level they go up, so I dey show my 32 teeth all.
Introducing the Kale Charcoal toothpaste, formulated with activated bamboo charcoal powder, ensures whiter teeth and removes bad breath. The strong natural property of the activated bamboo charcoal removes bacteria, absorbs surface stains on our teeth caused by coffee, wines, and tobacco. Welcome, Kale Charcoal toothpaste. Kale Charcoal toothpaste, Sankofa Yenchi.
Kale, happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
At DSTV, we listen to what our customers want. That's why we've cooked something big for you. From now to 31st July, pay your subscription and get an instant upgrade to the next higher package for free. Enjoy the best of drama, awesome entertainment for the kids, reality shows, epic Ghanaian talent, family fun, and the FIFA Club World Cup. Pay with *759# and get upgraded instantly. Terms and conditions apply. DSTV, your home of entertainment.
Junior, your school bus will soon get here. Hurry up.
Mommy, my hand is aching me and I'm feeling cold. Honey, Junior's temperature is too high and he feels feverish.
Oh, baby. So you didn't give him the Encamol paracetamol syrup that I gave you the last time?
Oh, no, I forgot.
Okay, you know what? It's not too late. Just give him Encamol and he'll be fine in no time. Encamol paracetamol syrup, a strawberry-flavored paracetamol syrup, and it's specially made for children aged 3 months to 12 years. It helps manage pain like headaches, teething pain, and fever. And guess what? Because of the strawberry flavor, the kids enjoy taking it.
I can tell from the way he's licking his lips. And look at how he's jumping around. Hurry up and go to school, Junior.
Yes, now you can get Encamol paracetamol syrup in all pharmacy shops. For bulk purchase, go to NK Pharma head office, Abelinkwe, or call 050-658-8315. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back to the Midday News. We have sports.
Maame, so the Black Queens will wrap up their preparations for the Women's AFCON with a final match against Nigeria on Sunday. The Queens had earlier defeated Malawi 3-1, followed by a 4-2 triumph over Benin. However, Ghana coach Kim Las-Bjorkegren is expecting a tough challenge against the Super Falcons, who have won the AFCON 9 times.
With full respect of Malawi and Benin that we have played against, Nigeria is one step up. One of the best teams in Africa, good players on almost every single position, so it's going to be a very, very tough game, but that's also what we need now. Now we have to show that our lowest level is high enough. We know that we can score goals, we know that we have a good defense as well, so it's just going to be fun to match against one of the best teams, and I'm really looking forward to that one.
Kim Las-Bjorkegren is the head coach of the Black Queens.
Thank you, Mubarak. Now, tomorrow, 10 extraordinary individuals will be celebrated at the EcoBank headquarters for their outstanding service to their communities. It's the Joy News Impact Makers 2025. Through dedication and selflessness, these finalists have led impactful projects that are transforming lives and inspiring change. Each story reflects a unique blend of innovation, resilience, and a deep commitment to making a difference. Let's hear from some of them about the work they've been doing.
We provide training, equipment, and mentorship to help them tell their own stories. The deaf community is always left out of the mainstream narrative, especially in the schools and education. Even some of the parents neglect their children due to their misfortune, forcing them to do menial jobs after school.
I'm a social development practitioner and a passionate advocate for social change. I have been working with Young Visionary Leaders Ghana on so many development engagements and advocacies.
A non-profit organization that is focused on bringing medical care to the doorsteps of rural and underserved communities. Since operating our mobile medical unit, which brings doctors, nurses, lab techs, and pharmacists to the doorsteps of these communities.
I am a social entrepreneur. I work with rural women in shea butter processing, and then this idea came up after I realized most of the women in my community do not make ends meet and therefore ends up cutting the tree. In order to expand the impact, I founded Podukwe Touch Life, which is an NGO where the profit we get from the social enterprise, which is the sales of the shea butter, goes in doing community activities, supporting students, helping girls with sanitary pads.
We invest in our human resources by serving underserved children or poor kids and poor communities by giving them hope through the numerous activities that we engage them with.
I do 4 major projects in education. First, orphans. I take interest in helping orphans. The girl child coaching, like mentorship.
And the fundraising foundation partner for the pediatric oncology unit of Kolibu Teaching Hospital. We also support Konfonoji Teaching Hospital. Sometimes we also support Tamale Teaching Hospital as well. So we are a fundraising organization, like I said. We raise funds for the treatment and care of children with cancer. In
2015-2016, I did my own investigation and I found out that most of the children, they don't go to school. And I realized that some of them are orphans, some of them, their parents are teenagers, and then some of them, their parents are mentally challenged.
So we target children with special needs, and after 2018, we realized that these children are in poor communities. So from 2018, our focus has been in poor communities where we provide them with food, water, and other amenities.
In 2013, I have dedicated myself to transform education in a community once marked by conflict, resource scarcity, and teacher shortage. Despite no electricity, poor healthcare access, and shared resources with cattle, my perseverance has turned challenges into opportunities.
Now joining me in studio is the project lead Emefa Atiamwa Ali, and she's dressed in Impact Makers t-shirt, looking all lovely. Emefa, who are these finalists?
So of the 10, we have 2 women and 8 men, and that they make. We have Portia Dumba from Savannah region. There's Ikuya Sapon from Accra. We have Raymond Senyo Azamedo from Accra. There's Eric Bwedi Sampon from the Eastern region. William Ayaba Akongbabre from the Upper West region. We have Jeffrey Kwame Buta from the Northern region. There's Osei Kojo Boateng from the Ashanti region. Then there's Daniel Nkrumah also from the Ashanti region. We also have Bennett Asante from the Western region. And then we have Joseph Tete Afangbe from the Upper East region.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So tell us briefly, very, very briefly, what to expect tomorrow.
So it's a dinner. We are going to have the awardees and their friends, family gathered for a night of recognition and celebration, just to applaud them and to say that they should keep up the good work, and also to let corporate Ghana know that these people are doing great work, and so you should join us to support them do more.
Thank you very much, Project Lead Emefa Tiamwa Eli, and that's how we end the midday news here on Joy 99.7 FM. But do make a date with Newsfile tomorrow, coming off at 9 a.m. and the topics will be treated at CJ Probe, EC Heads, and also Bank of Ghana second 100 of their staff. I am Maame Nyamekye Thompson. There's more news on myjoyonline.com. Up next is Living Word with Pastor